Hello, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be unboxing the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Now, first and foremost, we will be taking a look at the packaging. Now, on the front, you can see the open display, I should say, and giving us a good look at the figure inside. So now, and right under that, we do get a nice look at this nicely drawn box art for Bumblebee himself. And a lot of the front here is very much standard for your Studio Series stuff. On the side, you have Transformers. You got Generations up there at the corner. You got the Takara Tomy logo right next to that, and on the bottom you see the Hasbro logo and the recommended age for this, and the 86, and right there's the little 29, which means it's like their 29th 86 Studio Series figure, I guess. There's also the Studio Series logo, their Studio Series. There's obviously the faction and the name of the character in the box. Up here at the top corner, you do see the title of the movie that this character was featured in. In this case, it's the Transformers the movie, also known as the 86 movie, because it was released in 1986 and all that. Taking a look at this side now, not really much else to talk about. It's just more of the 86 to 29, the Studio Series. Another shot of that box art we saw at the front, just a close-up at his head. Down here we have the deluxe class labeling, telling you that this is a deluxe class. Over on this side, we get another shot of this box art for Bumblebee. Very neat. And down here, you have your little Transformers authentic sort of label, and up here you get this 86 thing up here. Very neat. Up here we got not a whole lot. We just have the Transformers the movie, as well as this cardboard peg loop, so you can hook it up on the peg in store shelves. All that standard stuff. And on the bottom here, you get all your little warning labels and all your little words and things that you put on the bottom of your box. Very typical of that. And here we get a look at the back of the box. Here we got some nice product shots of this figure and his little car mode, as well as it shows you the backdrop included, sort of thing. And it shows you words and things. Here we get more of that Transformers title, and here we get his name again. And of course it has little texts and things to tell you more about the figure and stuff. And down here you got more of your warning labels and your barcodes and your scanning code and stuff, shopping scanning code, and the stuff you would typically put on the bottom of your box. Very standard for your Studio Series 86. And now, with that out of the way, it is time to get this box. I guess I should probably do that with a more respectable timing. And now, as I was saying, now that we talked about the box, let's open the box. And so what you're going to do here is there's going to be a simple piece of tape up here holding the top of the box together. You're going to take a blade, a simple blade, and just slice that open. I'm just going to slice that open. Alright? And then, of course, sheath this back in. Sheath that back in. Make sure it doesn't cut anybody. Now, let's get this box open. Here we have that. And here we have the instructions and the backdrop. And of course, folded in with the instructions is this little sheet of paper that all of these Transformer figures come with for some reason. I don't know. I'm just gonna slide that back in and close the box. Actually, I'm gonna close the box later. For now, I'm gonna set the box aside and take a look through the stuff. Here we have the instructions for little Bumblebee. Neat. Here we have a nice backdrop. Alright, got the nice backdrop. Comes standard with your Transformers. Very neat. And of course, set that aside for now. And of course, the main star of the show, Bumblebee himself. This is very exciting this is personally exciting for me because I've finally gotten myself a decent little Bumblebee. Now bear in mind, I have gotten one or two Bumblebees in the past. I think before this I had that little Hot Wheels size Bumblebee Transformer from the Bumblebee movie, and I believe I've gotten another. I remember getting another older Bayverse Bumblebee figure a long time ago. This would be my first experience, but this would be my first actual G1 Bumblebee. And so I've cut out this little thingy. It's little Autobot paper bag. It's a little tricky to mess with. Careful not to break the contents. Careful not to damage the contents inside. Crazy how pulling out. Aha, here is the accessory that Bumblebee comes with. Neat. And of course, we're going to be cutting open the main figure himself. So I cut this back here, which is not like it was like keeping that in. Next, I cut open this, then cut out each one in the hands. Alright, make sure that all of these are getting cut. And then cut the one around his chest, like so. Of course, sheath that back in. Sweep these little like ties aside, because despite them getting rid of like the rest of the plastic in the Transformers packaging, they still insist on keeping these. Alright then. But never mind that. Let's get Bumblebee out of here. And boom. And we're going to be setting this off to the side. And there we have Bumblebee. Little Bumblebee. And first impressions? Oh, like, doing pretty good. I like testing out the tolerances, like none of, I don't feel that none of the joints here feel too loose. Don't feel too loose. Okay, knees do. This knee is not as tight, but this knee does feel a bit tight, but that's fine. I'm sure that it will be alright. Then we have other little joints. This is an interesting take on Bumblebee. This is an interesting take on that G1 Bumblebee. Sweet. Oh! That's interesting. So the parts that make up his windshields are done up in opaque plastic. That's interesting. That is interesting. I thought that these would come in. I thought that this part would be in these parts would be in translucent, but no, it's opaque plastic. That's interesting. Very interesting. And the back of the vehicle is very, very well attached to the figure. Because because something that I've noticed that people have made a huge deal about this figure is that this guy is that unlike the Earthrise Cliff Jumper mold, this guy does not need to parts form at all, which is a huge selling point for a lot of people. I have that version of I have that Cliff Jumper mold, and I personally don't really mind it. I personally didn't really care that much about that like little bit of parts forming for a figure that small. Like, yeah, this is looking very interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh yeah, these fold up, and there's like little like feet, like struts for him to like stand on his feet. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Of course, putting the gun in his hand. So, I guess that'll be it for this. So, first impressions on this figure. I'm liking it. I am like initially I didn't initially like I didn't know if I would like want to get like this take on Bumblebee, mainly because of like how how disproportionately like tall his feet are and how high the ankle tilt goes. Like in hand, but like having it in hand myself, it's honestly not really bugging me. Like this whole feet thing is honestly not bugging me as bad as I like thought it would be. So that's interesting. And I guess that'll be it for this unboxing, this video. If you enjoyed this unboxing, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.